Some snobby rich guy, I bet, Lois scoffed, folding her arms. Clark and Lois were waiting outside Bruce Wayne's private jet, along with plenty of other eager reporters. Taking his sweet time, eh, Clark? Lois tapped her foot and her frown grew deeper on her face. You don't seem too happy, Lois. Clark hoped this wouldn't set her off. Lois has a habit of taking things the wrong way. What? Oh no, sorry Clark. It's just I feel we should be doing something better. How so? Well, I mean, Superman's probably saving Metropolis from some crazy alien attack, but I'm stuck here reporting about a rich guy I couldn't care less about. She had started to draw attention to herself. I guess. But the board wanted us to interview Mr. Wayne about his upcoming partnership. Clark tried to change the topic of aliens and Superman. Lois opened her mouth to reply, but the door to the jet opened and a heavily armed security guard stepped out, followed by the one and only Bruce Wayne. He walked down the steps with confidence and a sort of arrogance. He's certainly attractive, Clark whispered to Lois. Clark, just the other week I asked if you were gay and you said no. I'm having second guesses now. Lois raised an eyebrow with a look of mischief spread across her face. Well, I mean... Ms. Lane and Mr. Kent. I was told you were interviewing me. Clark breathed a sigh of relief, saved by Mr. Wayne. Yes. We'd like to talk to you about your upcoming partnership with Lex Corporation. Lois fiddled through her notes and pulled out a pen. Lex Corp. Why would anyone partnership with Lex Luthor? Do people not realize he's trying to kill me? Clark thought to himself as Lois babbled on. I would be more than happy to take in some questions, but I'm afraid I have you double booked. Perhaps you two would join me for dinner at the Golden Seahorse. At 7 o'clock? If you are free, of course. Bruce's eyes looked eager. Had he planned this? Clark was suspicious of Mr. Wayne. He seemed nice, yes, but Clark had this strange feeling in his gut when he was around the man. Oh well, I'm free. How about you, Clark? Lois and Bruce both turned expectantly to Clark. He was lost in his thoughts and awkwardly jumbled out. Oh, yes. Very well then, I'm looking forward to your company. Now excuse me, I've got some business to attend to. Bruce gently pulled Lois's hand to his lips and gave her forehand a polite kiss. He turned to Clark and shook his hand. Bruce's eyes were damp, full of secrets, and Clark was determined to find out those secrets. Once Bruce had farewelled them both, he strode off with his security guards close behind and a herd of reporters following. Wow, he's sure of something. Lois looked literally swooned. What happened to snobby rich dickhead? Clark smirked at Lois's easy persuaded opinion. Shut up, Clark. Clark didn't have anything fancy. I mean, he's an alien that grew up on a farm. And the Golden Seahorse was one of the most expensive and high society places in Metropolis. The best he had was a black long-sleeved polo shirt, but Lois will probably turn up in some crazy dress, and of course the rich guy will have a fancy suit made out of rare fibers only found in the deepest, darkest rainforest in South Australia on a blue moon. Clark just went for the polo shirt and put on a white tie. Of course he had his Superman outfit underneath, just in case. He looked at the time. It was only 5:30. He decided to take the 2 hours he had to sit down and try and think of why he felt so uncomfortable around Bruce. Maybe he's one of the million people trying to kill me. Clark said out loud. But I definitely know him. Clark just couldn't get his finger on it though. He wanted to punch something, but the people below him in his apartment wouldn't really appreciate that. What if he's some kind of hero I know? Clark thought. He did know a lot of other superheroes but knew little of their identities. Well, let's see. Flash is Barry and he's not rich. Oliver, Hal, John, actually he could just be shapeshifting, but why would he do that? And he can't be Diana unless she has some sort of Amazon cloaking device. Clark went through all the heroes whose identities were known to him, then went through the heroes with identities he didn't know. Well, Batman always wears a lead-lined mask, and if he was rich that would make sense, but he's always a grump, and Bruce Wayne is probably the most social person I've ever met, and Batman couldn't be that good of an actor. Plus Batman's parents died when he was a boy, that's all he's ever told me, at least, and Bruce Wayne's parents are probably alive and on some cruise ship right now. Clark had become so lost in these thoughts he hadn't noticed the time, 6:45. He had only 15 minutes to get to the restaurant. Sure, he could sneak in some super speed, but still he had to go. Brushing the thoughts out of his head, he ran out the door and down to the street. With fast-paced walking and a little super speed here and there, Clark got to the restaurant. He had about 5 minutes to spare, and Lois was already waiting outside the doors. As Clark had guessed, she was wearing a long red dress with no straps, her black hair was done up in a loose bun. When she saw Clark approaching, her red lips curled to a smirk. My, you sure got dressed up for this occasion, didn't you, Clark?" She let out a small chuckle. Clark adjusted his glasses and replied with a simple "shut up." And as Clark guessed, a smart black limousine pulled out the front of the restaurant. A slim old man stepped out of the driver's seat and opened the passenger door. A bulky security guard stepped out, followed by Bruce Wayne and then another security guard. Bruce was wearing a black suit and overcoat along with a white shirt underneath with a tie done up nicely, with dark gray pants and shiny black shoes to top it off. Seeing Bruce Wayne's attire made Lois lightly nudge Clark in the arm. Great, like Clark had guessed, he'd be the one who was completely underdressed for the occasion. "Sorry for my tardy entrance, Mr. Kent and Ms. Lane, shall we go in?" Bruce strode past the two and Clark and Lois followed, with the security guards close behind. Clark pulled out his notepad and pen. "Don't tell me you're here to actually interview him." Lois laughed. "I'm just here for the good food and eye candy." "I guess so." He put the notepad and pen away in his pocket. He looked up to Bruce at the restaurant's reservation desk. As he was talking to the lady at the counter, something clicked in his mind. Just like that, all the pieces came together in his head. Bruce Wayne was Batman.